Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. Colombia somehow win Group H and are now destined to meet England. On paper, they should be favorites, but will they beat England? Can they do it without James Rodriguez? And if not, who will step up to the plate? Quintero, Cuadrado, Falcao? Don't worry, here at the interviews, we've got you covered. So on this edition of the interviews, we're going to break down three main talking points for Colombia against England. Colombia somehow won Group H. Their group stage has been quite the drama. You look at the first game, red card for Sanchez in the opening minutes, lose to Japan. Then they have a great second half and beat Poland. Then they squeak by Senegal. Colombia, a lot of people fell in love with them in 2014. Here in 2018, they're expecting them to go one step further and be World Cup contenders. And if they're going to do that, they have a big date with England and they won't want to disappoint. However, there are a lot of questions about this Colombian side. How good are they? How good can they be? And what does it evolve around? When we break down these three main talking points, number one has to be the fitness of James Rodriguez. He is their linchpin. He is their creative fulcrum. Everything runs through him. If he's going, they're going. You look at the group stage alone. The first game, he wasn't involved, came on in the second half as a sub. They lost it. Yes, they were down to 10 men, but look. They didn't really get anything going. They started the match poorly. It's really tough to criticize Colombia for that game, but he is the main guy. You look at the second game, he was heavily involved in everything that we're doing, cutting in from the left, finding pockets of spaces in central areas, combining with Quintero, moving out to the right to create overloads with Cuadrado. Everything was going through him, and they were successful there. Then he gets hurt in the final game against Senegal, and they kind of sneak their way past the African side. Here, they need him. Will he be 100%? It doesn't look like it, but you look at it, do they have a chance without him? They just don't seem to work the same way without him, and that is the big issue. And when you look at what they get from down the left without him, it's not the same, and that could be a big issue for them, especially against an England side that look to be like they are different than other England sides in the past. Number two, how are they going to play now without him? Who is this rest upon? Quintero is obviously the key man. What does he do? He drops in from the number 10 position, moves into midfield, creates that overload. You have Cuadrado on the right-hand side. Radamel Falcao has been superb with his all-around play, and he could probably deal with the English center backs. They're going to be 3 against 1, but his movement is superb. Now they have to find a way to get Quintero on the ball in pockets of spaces and get Cuadrado in 1v1 situations to deal with Ashley Young and possibly get the better out of him, because it doesn't look like Danny Rose will start. Do they have enough balance here? Can they supply Falcao? It just doesn't look certain. It's very tough for this Colombian side. They're going to have to, England are going to try and do a job and mark Quintero out of the game. And can they rely on Cuadrado? Can the midfield of Sanchez and Uribe possibly push forward and offer that penetration that they need? It looks really tough. They've relied heavily on Yuri Mina from set pieces, and they're going to possibly need Davison Sanchez from set pieces to get something out of this game, because at the moment, they're not getting much from the fullbacks. Quintero can be marked out of the game. He will drop a bit deeper. He will try to orchestrate play in between the lines. But if him and Cuadrado aren't going, who is going to supply Radamel Falcao? And can they rely on set pieces to get them over the hump? It is a good ploy to utilize based on the fact that England haven't looked very comfortable defending them. So that could be their way to get out of this mess until James is fit. But if James isn't fit, you just don't know how they're going to get goals, and how they're going to provide service to their key attacking players. And number 3 with Colombia, the defense. We've seen what they have been so far in this tournament. Obviously, it's really hard to judge them off the first game, but they struggled in transition prior to that. red card. And then we look at the second game, simple long balls over the top. Lewandowski had a great chance. Senegal got some moments through Mane, through Niang. They need to be better here. Sanchez, Mina, they are great, young, individually athletic center backs, but their positional sense, they can be exposed, they can be pulled out of position. Harry Kane's movement, Ali and Lingard breaking into the channels, it could be a tough day for them. They're going to want to sit deeper. They're going to want to break on the counterattack, and I think that is the best way for them to go about this game. Drop into two banks of four, defend your lines, ensure that England, the Kane and Sterling don't pull you out of position when they drop into pockets of space between the lines. Look to utilize Falcao's movement into the channels, Cuadrado's pace, and see what you could get from there, and utilize Quintero's ability to find passes, and they could have something from that play. We've seen Cuadrado stick out wide to the right, looking to pick up the ball in those areas. If you could get him going, if he could continuously beat his marker and provide quality cross into the box, because his decision making hasn't been good and his final ball hasn't been good. But if they could get him going, then they have a play there on the counter attack as well. But that defense, the higher they play, England have so much movement from midfield and Kane and Sterling that it could be a rough day for them. But let me know what you guys think. Are Colombia heavy favorites? Can they be upset by England? Do you expect them to win? How far can they go? Meet me in the comments below. Don't forget I upload videos every day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And that was your daily dose of the InnerViews.